Hello, hello. My name is Peggy Noe. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. My little business is prettypapercards.com. Welcome. I'm here today with my Yorkshire Terrier, Ellie. And hi, I see Lori Mantovi and Michelle. Good to see you guys. How are you? I'm gonna check and see if we're live on Facebook today, and we are. Yay! I'm so glad. I was afraid that wouldn't work from last week, so I'm very thankful that that is working now today. So happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. What are your weekend plans? Anybody have weekend plans? We are relaxing this weekend. Hilda, good to see you. And Julia, good to see you from Facebook. I see you over there. Um, we have a really busy week next week. My husband's birthday is next week, and I have a card class next week, and a lot of stuff going on next week. So we're relaxing this weekend. Jeanne, Pam, Roz, good to see you guys. So, I was reading over last Friday's comments when I was going through and finding for a prize. You know how I do when you write the word prize? So I go back through today, and Julia, that's exactly what I was going to say. Everybody was freezing, lots of snow, it's so cold, and I hope it's better for all of you this weekend or today. I don't know. I still see on the maps, on the weather maps, huge swaths of cold. Hibernating, yes. Pam. Oh gosh. And we are having unseasonably hot weather. If you can even believe it. I hate to say this, but I have to say this. 85 degrees today. Yep. Of course, it's up in the day, and then at night it's down to in the 40s, which for us is cold here. But isn't that just crazy? The middle to the east is bad, and over on the west side is not as bad. I don't know what to say. It's still very cold. Colder today, Hilda. Lisa, hi. I know, 85. What can you even say? But you know what? It's cold in the house. And the reason is because during the night, the house gets cold, and then it takes a long time for it to warm up. So I'm always cool in the house. Tina, cold and icy. North Carolina, another storm tomorrow and Sunday, 4 to 7 inches. Possible snow on Sunday, says Lori. Yeah, you guys are really having it this year. I'm so sorry. Just get on a plane if you can get one out and come on out here. It's nice. Oh, Roz, in Florida, the weekend mornings are going to be 20 and only in the 50s. Wow. Yeah, I mean, but you know what? Just stay inside and stamp with your heater on and your sweatshirts on. Tracy, good to see you. Lisa, yes. And you'll just do fine. And with Valentine's Day coming up, you can make different cards and little projects, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make a little Valentine box. A Valentine box with a Rosette Doily. We'll talk about that in a minute. So Ellie, little Miss Ellie, has fleas. So we were at the vet this morning, and she got a shot. And so hello, Carol from Chile, Connecticut. So she's hello, Beth. So she's a little sleepy because of the shot that she got, and she's kind of feeling a little. So we're taking good care of her and hoping we get rid of the fleas very quickly. And they said she needs to have her teeth cleaned. She's 12, and they said her teeth are pretty bad. So poor baby. So I'm going to put her down and let her go back to sleep, take her little nap. Tina, ooh, the stamp positioner, yes, good. I'll be anxious to see what you think of it. because I am really liking mine. Okay, let's talk about a little bit of news, you guys. 3 more days. I looked at the calendar. 3 more days of bonus days. Today's the 30th of January. So we have the 31st, the 1st of February, and the 2nd of February. And that's 3 days. Well, then if you include today, that's 4 days. Hi, Johanna. Good to see you. To get your coupon. So if there's, in fact, I ordered something this morning just to get another coupon. So get those $5 coupons with your order of $50 or more before tax and shipping. And then we can start using them on February 3rd, right? And then don't forget about the January product of the month. The fabulous Saying stamp set that we've all enjoyed so much. Really chilly Florida. Paducah, 17 degrees. Oh my gosh, Devonna. Oh, goodness sakes. I'm telling you, this is the time to take a vacation and come out here. Beautiful out here. Okay, so the product of the month, we'll have a new product of the month starting February 3rd, probably. Debbie, good to see you. And then starting February 3rd is the new, what they're calling it the join offer. Usually we call it a starter kit offer because you get the starter kit. And we looked at this and played with this on Wednesday, the Stampin' Positioner tool, which is very cool. If you're a demonstrator and you have not ordered this and you want it, be sure you order it by February 2nd because this is the little plate that goes with it. As a demonstrator, you won't be able to get it after February 2nd because beginning February 3rd, you can only get it by joining Stampin' Up and getting the starter kit. And if you're interested in that, I would love to have you join my team. In fact, speaking of my team, I'm so proud of them. You guys know we live in San Diego County, and on stage this year in March, the demonstrator yearly event is in Long Beach, California. It's right near LA. I mean, an LA person would not say it's near LA, but it's in the LA vicinity. So I have 12 girls from my team going to on stage in March. I am so excited. I can't believe it. I've never had 12. I've had a few because usually we have to travel somewhere. Las Vegas, I think, has been the closest place. So, oh boy, we're going to have so much fun. I'm really excited. So just a little bit about my team. We have a lot of fun. I would love to have you join my team, especially in February with that great deal of that Stampin' Positioner. So that's all the news that we have. Now we're going to do a project. And let me turn you down because it's we're going to be busy today and we're going to use something. I don't know why the dog is barking. I don't know why Ellie's barking. We're going to use a glue gun. In fact, it's already hot. It's ready to go. I have it heating up so we can use it today. Yeah, Tina, if any of you are going to onstage, private message me or let me know and I'll look for you. But I know a lot of you are back east and I know it's expensive when you come from back east. Okay, what we're going to make today, we're going to do a couple of different things. This is what we're making. We're going to make these cute little I wish you were closer too. We're going to make these cute little Valentine boxes. These are just little boxes. I'm going to show you how to make the box itself, and then I'm going to show you how to make this Rosette doily. Now, her barking is distracting me. Sarah Douglas, the CEO of Stampin' Up, did a video recently that showed how to make these Rosette doilies, and I am smitten. I love these Rosette doilies, and we have the doilies. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you how to make those and also how to make the box. But to make the doilies, we need the glue gun. And we're going to use the Endless Love bundle. And I'm going to go ahead and all we're using from here today is this little arrow, like Cupid's arrow, right? So I'm going to go ahead and get that out and set that over near my little Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And then we're going to use, from Endless Love, the stamp set, my favorite little sentiment hugs and kisses. Hold on just 1 minute. Ellie, what's wrong? Come here. Come here, baby. What's wrong? I have no idea what she's barking at. Okay, and we're going to use these doilies. These are called the Lovely Doilies. You get a nice pack. Let's see how many come. 24. So you get 6 white and 6 red small and 6 white and 6 red large. And that's one of the, it's not much. It's not very much. I've always loved doilies. So, and then we're also going to use a piece of designer series paper from the Love Notes 6x6 paper. The back is purple, and I kind of debated, but I really didn't want to make a purple Valentine box because I want to make one of these for everybody coming to my local card class next Saturday, a week from tomorrow. And so anyway, that's what I'm going to do. That's why I'm making these boxes, and I thought maybe you'd like to see how they're made. So if you want to know the measurements, like for making the box and stuff, get out your something to write on so that you can take down the measurements, because I don't give PDF tutorials except in my classes to go. So we're going to use our our cutting machine a lot today for our measurements, or Stampin' Trimmer. And we're going to use a piece of basic white cardstock. Now you can see that over here I used a red piece, but I wanted to decorate it with the designer series paper, so I decided to use a piece of white. So we're going to start out by making the box, and then once we make the box, we'll go ahead and make the Rosette doily. So for the box, and we need to put our little arm up here, and I'm going to turn it this way so I don't hit the glue gun. We want a piece, then let's do it this way, 7 inches. It's an easy peasy box. If you are a box person, you'll be just like, oh brother, Peggy, that is so easy, because there are a lot more complicated boxes. 7 by 5.5, and that gives you another piece of equal size, so you can make 2 boxes with 1 piece of cardstock. Okay, and then we can close our arm, and we're going to do our scoring for our box. So I'm going to push my cutting blade down. I know you guys have done this accidentally. Instead of scoring, you use the cutting blade and cut. I don't want to do that today. So I'm pushing my cutting blade down out of the way, and I'm going to use my gray scoring blade. And we're going to score on the 7-inch side, the longer side. We're going to score at 2 3/4 and 4 1/4. Okay. And then on the, does that look right? Yeah, I guess it is right. And then on the 5.5-inch side, we're going to score 1.5 inches from each side. I always get worried I'm doing it wrong. Okay, 1.5 and 1.5. And that's it. That's all the scoring. That's it right there. Okay, now we're going to burnish our score lines. We want to do that and get them nice and burnished so that our box folds well. That's a secret to a really good 3D project. This is really kind of what we might call a 3D project. And then we're going to burnish here. We want our box to fold really nicely. And here. Okay, now you can see these are the sides of the box, and this is the bottom. So the box is like this, okay? This is the front, and this is the back. So now I'm going to take my paper snips, and I'm going to cut in on this little flap right here. And if you've made boxes and 3D projects, you know how this goes. You cut in on the score line. Let me get it, see if I can get it right on there. And then you cut a little V so that it lays down really nicely. Cut just a little V here. And it doesn't have to be perfect. This just allows it to fold in really nicely so it doesn't catch anything. And we're going to turn it around and do the same thing on the other side. I don't usually make boxes and stuff with you guys, so I thought this would be fun for a change since we don't usually do this together. I do make boxes and stuff, but I just don't usually show them. I don't know why. And I especially like to make things for my customers who come to my local card classes. I really like to do that. Okay. So now this is how the box goes. It goes up like this and then over like that. Easy, right? And all we need to do is I use multi-purpose liquid glue for almost everything. So we're going to put some glue on this. We're just going to glue up each side. The one thing to remember here is to make sure both sides, these sides, go the same direction. In other words, you want to put, if you're going to put this one in, you want to put this one in and the other one over, like that, if you know what I mean. You don't want to do it in the reverse, it'd be a little weird. So we're going to check and make sure that, we want to make sure that's going to be pretty flat there. Okay, and now we can glue the other one down. And see, when you do, let me fold that back. When you do the little V, it makes it so nice. It just makes it slip in there very nicely. We'll check our bottom to make sure that's nice and flat right there. Okay. And this is what I meant. Now you want to make sure that both sides are going back. Like that. Okay. So we'll do one at a time. And I like to make sure my glue is really almost 1/4 of an inch back from the edge because I don't want my glue to seep out. And then you want to adjust it so that it comes to this pretty much the same level as the other piece. You want it to touch down here and pretty much be pretty much the same on the top. Just like that. Because you don't want it all kooky where this is going up or down or whatever. You want to make it a nice even little box. And there you go. Look at how easy that is. Isn't that super easy? So this is going to be the beginning of our Valentine box. Now we're going to cut some designer series paper to cover the sides and the front. And as I mentioned, I'm going to use a piece of the 6x6, the 6x6 Love Notes designer series paper. And we're just going to cut the pieces that we need. I'm going to try, it really isn't upside down in any way you put it, but it seems to look better to me this way. This to me looks right side up. So the first thing we're going to do is cut a strip 1 1/4. We're going to cut the pieces for the sides, the left and the right sides, 1 1/4 inches by 2 1/2, and we can get 2 of them out of one strip here. 2 1/2. Okay, and I think it does look like they're going pretty much up and down. And you know, I debated. We could have cut the piece bigger and just left a little, we could have cut it with only 1/8 of an inch border, but I did it with 1/4 inch, leaving 1/4 inch border, so it'll be fine. It depends on how much you want to cover your cardstock. So we'll just put that little piece down. You see what I mean? We could have come out a little more on all sides, but I like it this way. Let's see. Get that straight. And now we're going to put our other piece on. If you want to make a purple box, this would be great paper for making a purple box. It just didn't seem quite right for Valentine's Day. Hi, Susan. Good to see you. So now we'll put this little side piece down. Just like that. And now we need to cut the pieces for the front and the back. And the front and the back pieces are 2 1/4 by 2 1/2. So again, we just do the same thing. 1 2 1/4 1 times 2 1/4, and then we cut two pieces 2 1/2 from that. And these should fit perfectly on the front and the back. And they do. And I think that's about all we need from our paper trimmer. So let's put this out of the way there. And we'll go ahead and glue these on. And then we're going to make our doily, our Rosette doily. Oh, I will need the paper trimmer for that. I forgot. I wanted the background here to be Valentine-ish, but subtle, because the doily is so it's so fun, and it's kind of the star of the show. And you could just use this box for any occasion, and it fit a baggie of little candies really easily. The other thing I was thinking you could put in this box would be, if it's demonstrators that you're giving it to, or stamping people, you could even put some adhesives in this little box. It doesn't have a lid, it's an open box. So we're going to put, this is the sample for those of you that came in late, a baggie tied with a bow, like that. Okay. Alrighty, so now our box is ready. Let's go ahead and play with our doily. So we're going to use a small red doily from the lovely Doilies set. And you can see the scallops. The large doily would fit on a large box. So what we're going to do is we're going to score the doily in the middle of down the middle all the way around. And the trick is just get in between two scallops, get your cutting, where your cutting blade goes, and match it down here. And you can kind of tell, because the little circle that is the center would be right on the cutting trough. And again, we're using our scoring blade, and we're just going to score, not too hard, because the doily, we don't want the doily to break. So again, between the scallops, and we just go all the way around, scoring the doily. This is what is going to create the rosette feel. So we'll put the center there, and then then that helps us to get the right score line. Next scallop, put the center there. Okay. Next scallop, center on the line. Next one, we should be almost done. It doesn't really take, because you really only do it 6 times, I think. Let me check. Oh, we do have 2 more to go. Okay. 1 and 2. I saw this and I fell absolutely crazy in love with it. Okay, so now you can see that it's scored, and what we want to do is go through and just kind of burnish those score lines. It's going to make it easier to do our rosette. So we're just going to burnish those. You have to look a little carefully to get it just right. Folding in half each time. Okay, and over like this. Almost done. Just do it, I think, about 6 or 7 times. I don't know. Do you like doilies? Let me know if you're a doily person. Some people are and some people aren't. I am definitely a doily person. Okay, 1 more and we're done here. Let's see, right there. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now we want to fold it in quarters, and what we're going to do is trim off this little end right between the hearts. There's a row of hearts here and a row of hearts here. And we're going to go right in between like this. Okay, trim that off. Now we're going to make our rosette. So let's get out our glue gun and we'll start folding our rosettes. If you've ever made a rosette, you know how it folds back and forth like this. And there's little glue strings that get everywhere. I think I picked one up when I moved that. So now we're getting it, I'm going to just press that and we'll lay it down. And we'll just need to kind of fiddle. You need to fiddle with rosettes a little bit. If you've ever made one, you know what that means. You just need to play with it a little bit and get all the little folds doing their thing and pulling together in the center. That's why we trimmed out the center. Have we got that looking right now? Let's see, this one needs to come up also there. Oh goodness. I'm going to go back and try it again because something happened there. There we go. That looks a lot better. Okay, there we go. That's looking better. And now we're going to hold it and use our glue gun to go around the middle like that. And then we come back in and push it together. And it takes a few minutes. You need to give it a few minutes here to do its thing, to dry, so we can chat for a few minutes. You like doilies, Roz? I do. I really do. I love them on anything. I like them if you're gonna, you can get a big doily to put under a plate for a table setting. You can do all kinds of fun things with doilies. And it's starting to set up. I got a little glue right over there. You just kind of hold it together for a minute until it decides to take hold. We can fluff the little edges a little bit more in a minute once the glue sets. Now, one thing about these red doilies, the back side is white. So if you want a white doily instead, or say you wanted a yellow doily, all you need to do is, you couldn't really make this because I think it would show if you made a rosette, but you could definitely turn it over and color it, like with a Stampin' Blend or something like that. So we're still holding in a little holding pattern here. I don't know why it got a little crinked. Probably because I'm doing it for you guys and it just isn't turning out absolutely perfect, but that's all right. We've got all the little ends. Okay, so our doily's pretty put together. Now what we're going to do is we're going to punch out a heart using the Bee Builder punch. And because this is a red doily, we're going to punch out a white heart. And this is actually, I've used this before with you guys. It's supposed to be a wing of a bee, but it's actually a heart. And for these small doilies, it really is just the right size. And I'm doing it kind of right away because I want it to go, I'm going to glue gun the heart right on top of this with a little more glue. And we're going to put our heart right on top. Now our doily is just a little crinked there. I don't know. Sorry, it just got a little weird. I don't know why that happened. But I don't really think, by the time we get everything done with it, I don't think anybody will notice. All right, so while that dries, and we need to keep the glue gun going because we're going to glue gun it onto our bag in a minute. What we're going to do is cut out our arrow. I told you that we're going to use this little arrow die from the Endless Love die set. And there are several arrows, and this is the longer one, which I really want to go on top of the little heart. Let me just bend that just a tad. Okay. Oh, and cold West Virginia. Brr. So many of you are in such cold weather. I'm sorry. Okay, so here is our cute little arrow. I just think this is, look at that. Isn't that just darling? And look at what the die does. Look at the impressions on this side of it. I don't know if you can see. Can you see those little impressions, those little cuts that it makes? Really, really cute. Cute little die. Okay, now this should be pretty dry. Pull our strings off. Got quite a few strings going on here. Let me see. I don't know if I can get this one off. I can. Okay, good. So now we're going to put our doily with the heart right on the front of the box. And what I've noticed is the only way to adhere it really well is with the glue gun. So we're going to go back again and put more glue on the back and adhere it right to the front of our little box. And press down until it really sticks on there. I'm one of those people, you know, if a little glue is good, more is better. I don't know why I'm like that. It's 5 degrees. Oh my gosh, below zero overnight. And stay warm. Stay warm. Okay, now we can unplug our glue gun. And I'll set that off to the side here. And then we can do the rest of our decorating. Okay, now that did get torn right there. I might try to put something right over it. Okay, in fact, we might try to put the arrow right over it so nobody notices. Wouldn't that be good? Let's do that. So for the arrow, we just want to put on the back just a little bit of glue right in the center, because we only want it to adhere to the heart. And we'll just have it go. I know it doesn't show up quite as much, but I do want it to cover that little boo-boo. There's a little glue that came out. We'll fix that. Okay, now we're going to stamp a little sentiment. And I've got a strip of basic white cardstock, 1/4 inch wide. And we're going to stamp the hugs and kisses on here. This little sentiment that I think is so cute. And you know why I like it? Because it's you could use it for your girlfriends and stuff, and for almost anybody that you give it to. It's not like for a boyfriend type of thing. Okay, so there's our cute little sentiment. And we need now to trim this up, and we're going to stick it in there. I'm going to give extra room on the left because I'm going to be tucking. And I'm going to do an angle at the right. And I'm just going to practice a little bit here and see where it will actually tuck in. Not quite sure. You have to play around a little because we've used our glue gun. I'm going to press a little bit. I think I'm going to just try to force it in there a little bit. And I might trim off a little bit more on the end here. You just need to play with it a little bit. And just put a bit of glue here. It's only going to adhere to bits of the doily. But we're just going to try to move it a bit. Okay, I think it's going to stick in there. Now while we wait for that to dry, we're going to tie a cute little bow from the adorable Pretty Bubble Bath faux linen ribbon. And it's nice and thin. I love thin ribbon. Even when we get thick ribbon, I cut it in half so we have thin ribbon. Love thin ribbon. because it ties easily and you can fit it almost anywhere. Whoops, you know what I was going to use a dot of hot glue to stick the bow on. Let me do that. Okay, there's just a little dot of hot glue. There we go. Perfect. And we can trim off our tails like this. There's a bit of glue stuck on here. Those little glue strings get everywhere. And to finish it off, we're going to have one little tiny gem. I'm loving these lovely and beautiful Sweet Collection pearlized faceted circles is what they're called. They're small, more glue, and sparkly. And I thought one would just look cute right down there, like that. There we go. There's our little box. Let me pull it up and show you up close. And you can't even really tell that that doily came apart right there. I think if I would have been playing with it a little more gently, it probably wouldn't have torn. But isn't that just cute? And then here's the one I made as a sample. I do kind of like the arrow at an angle. And then you just fill it with your bag full of little candies, and I tied that up with a little bow. Isn't that just sweet? So, and you know, you can make them different colors. Like here I used the white doily, and I didn't put any DSP on here. I just used real red cardstock. So there are 3 little Valentine boxes. I just think these are going to be cute. I'm going to give them away to people during Valentine's Day. Like I said, I want to make one for everybody coming to my card class a week from tomorrow. I think would be a really fun thing. So let me put you up now. Wasn't that fun? Every so often it's fun to do a 3D project. I don't do them all that often with you guys, but I love those doilies. And if you want to know see a better explanation of how to do the doily rosette, I think you could go on YouTube under Sarah Douglas Stampin' Up, and I think you can find it there. I think it's public, and I think they have better instructions over there than probably I could do. So we're going to give away a prize for today, and the prize that I'm giving away today is from last week when we made a double flap card like this. Do you remember that? We had fun making those 2 flaps, kind of a little different. And our winner is Louise Whitford. Louise, thank you so much for watching. I have your address. Let me hold this over here. Congratulations. And I'll get this out to you. We had a lot of fun making this. And in fact, I think I'm going to use this fold for a swap maybe, because it's a little bit different. I kind of like it. If you didn't see that, go back and rewatch that. It's from last Friday on YouTube. So congratulations, Louise Whitford. I will get this out to you. And for those of you who put prize, I really don't think I can send the little box. It would cost me too much. I don't think I can. So for everybody who puts prize today, what I'm going to send you is a full package of low profile sparkle dots. Okay. I want you to get something nice because I think mailing the little boxes would be too cumbersome. So if you put the word prize today, this is what we'll be drawing for. And I love these dots. I think you'll like them and use them a lot with all the pretty colors, especially with spring coming up. So you guys have a wonderful weekend. Please stay warm, stay inside, make cards, make cute little Valentine boxes. Have a good time and stay warm, and I'll see you next Wednesday. We'll come back next Wednesday. And don't forget, starting Tuesday the 3rd, you can join Stampin' Up and get the Stampin' Positioner for free. I would love to have you join my team.